Greetings, internet drinking buddies. My name is Link, the show's name is Tubbin and Chuggin, and on this episode, I'll be imbibing E&J Brandy XO. Welcome back to the tub, everybody. Now, these are my favorite types of episodes to do because they're ones where I've been given a recommendation on what to drink. What I have here today is a brandy that comes recommended from a dear friend of mine, so hopefully I don't hate it too much. Also serves as a nice opportunity to continue my well drink overview series. We're taking a look at brandy for the first time, so if you don't quite know what brandy is, I think this is a good introduction. So we're going to start by taking a look at what this E&J brandy is, talk a little bit more about brandy overall, and then I'll, as always, try it and give you my thoughts on it. E&J XO brandy is made in America and has been since 1975. This XO variety will run you $14 a fifth, so about 93 cents a drink. This can be lowered to as low as about 70 cents a drink if you get the VS variety, and all the variants they sell will come in at that magical 40% alcohol by volume. Availability on this one should be fairly high. I wouldn't expect any trouble finding it at a grocery store, and definitely not at your local liquor store. Let's get back to brandy. Now, brandy refers to any spirit which has been distilled from a fermented fruit juice. Most commonly wine, but you may have also heard of a product called Applejack here in America, which gets it's a brandy distilled down from a hard apple cider. However, by far the most popular type of brandy is cognac, which, pardon the French for the entire episode, but cognac is a specific type of brandy, similar to how tequila is a specific type of agave liqueur, or champagne is a specific type of sparkling wine. The E&J I have here uses the cognac aging system, which I'll get to in a moment, but you can clearly see it is labeled an American brandy because it is made in America and not in that specific region of France. I have the XO variety of E&J, which stands for extra old, meaning it has to be aged to a minimum of 6 years. They also have a VS, or very superior, which is aged to a minimum of 2 years, and VSOP, very superior old pale, which is aged to a minimum of 4 years. These are all minimums. These all get aged in the same oak barrels, just a matter of timing for how long they get aged and that kind of thing, which determines their overall taste profile. Now, personally, I've never delved much into brandy. I do recall tasting some brand or another before in my college years. It might have been E&J, it might have been this specific variety of E&J for all I know. I do know that I don't recall liking it all that much, so we'll have to see how my taste may have matured since then. Generally speaking, brandies are best enjoyed sipped at room temperature without adding any adulterants or mixes, as the case may be. Otherwise, you might lose that taste that brandy is so known for. As such, that's how I'll be enjoying this E&J today, in this nice Kavalan Taiwanese whiskey snifter. Now, a snifter is a special type of glass typically used for enjoying whiskey or brandy, and as such, I'll be sipping and not shooting. The way, let's get to the toast, which I'll make French, and again, I apologize. A votre santé. Okay. Oh, a little maple syrup there at the end. That's interesting. Quite a bit of maple syrup, actually. Quite a bit. This has got charcoal filtered, hints of vanilla, creamy toffee, and brown sugar. It's not bad, you know? It's probably like the best kind of compliment you ever want to hear, right? Well, it wasn't bad, but I don't know. It just doesn't really do anything for me. It could just be that this is obviously one of the cheaper end brandies that you can buy. Brandy, I think, has this scale from like cheap stuff to extremely expensive stuff. Most people that hear of brandy probably only ever think of like the dudes on the Titanic drinking it, drinking stuff that even today would be expensive in like $1914. That one was Titanic sailed 1912, 1914, somewhere in there. But I don't know, it seems kind of bland. Like I'm really, you know, I'm sifting it. I'm trying to let it stay on the tongue. And I do get the different notes that they're talking about. I taste maple syrup a lot more than I taste like a coffee or a vanilla, but I can kind of see both of those. It's not painful to drink, which is one of the fears I would have with this, is that like, oh, it's supposed to be this glorious expensive drink, and I'm just like, eh. I just, yeah. A little bit more alcohol heavy, definitely with more of it, so I'd recommend sipping on it slowly. It's not the kind of thing I'd go out of my way to buy. I don't know if this is more of like an acquired taste where like the more you have it, the more you can get those sort of individual taste notes as they come through. And me just being this like guy who takes shots, it's just like, just kind of there, and I don't know. So if you're like a brandy fan, right? Like, what am I supposed to tell you here that's gonna make you say, buy this one, don't buy this one? I mean, it's got taste profiles for sure, but it's pretty cheap. And if you like brandy the way I like gin, you don't usually buy the cheap stuff just over and over again. You have like your kind of favorite that you go to. So I'm trying to aim this more at people that don't necessarily like brandy. And if that's the case, like if this is kind of the starting point, the high end but cheap starting point, it's fine. I mean, I think it's probably a good way to discover if you like the thing. Because there's definitely things about this I think people could latch onto and be like, that's excellent. This is the kind of drink I like. So from that point of view, I think it does a good job. I don't think it's like a purely fiery, burning alcohol taste. I do think it has, you know, taste notes that it tries to hit, which is basically like the minimum standard for an alcohol. It is getting better. I don't know if that's because I'm getting drunker, but it is getting better. So maybe it is an acquired taste. You know, it's cheap enough. You can get this in fifths, you can get this in handles. I'd say, if you've never tried a brandy, get yourself a fifth of this. Maybe see if you can get the 375 milliliter somewhere. I don't know if they have those, but if they do, get yourself one of those. If you're curious about it, maybe look into one of these snifters while you're at like a Bevmo type store. They've usually got these, and it does kind of help sort of shape the alcohol, and it looks nicer than just like drinking it out of a plastic cup. Pour it into there. Don't get discouraged by the first few tastes. Give it a few more tries. See if that taste acquires itself into you. And try to continue from there. I'm gonna have more of this. I feel like it might grow on me over time, because I do think I'm starting to pick out a little bit more of those tastes, or maybe I'm just getting drunker again, who knows. But probably see if you can find somebody that likes it and drink it with them, and maybe they'll tell you like what's good about it. So I'm gonna have to ask my buddy about this one, because honestly, from what I thought I knew about brandy, I didn't think I was gonna like this. I don't love it, but it's pretty good. E&J XO brandy, pretty good out of 10. Give it a try. I think if you like brandy, you might end up liking it. If you don't know you like brandy, you might end up thinking you like brandy. And if you don't like it, then you don't like it. But it's not that expensive, so I don't think you're wasting a whole lot there. As always, let me know if there's other alcohols you want me to review, and please drink responsibly.